After a 7-month content drought in Sea of Thieves, Rare needs to do something big to make sure that this game doesn't die. Part of what they decided needs to be done is adding PvE servers to the game in December. Will PvE servers ultimately kill the game? Are they a good thing? Are they a bad thing? Let's talk about it. If you want to know my opinion as a strictly PvP Sea of Thieves content creator, whether or not PvE servers are going to kill the game, make sure you stay tuned for the whole video so you can hear all my thoughts and opinions on this matter. The coming edition of PvE servers is a very controversial topic, and with myself being a PvP content creator, many people are probably going to be thinking that I'm against the whole idea. But honestly, it's a lot more complicated than that. One of the community's big concerns is that so many people are going to start flocking from the normal servers to PvE servers, and therefore, the seas will die. But the thing with this is I don't think it's completely true. Because think of this. Servers can only hold a certain amount of people. So yeah, different people will be going to the PvE servers, but your servers will still be full. You don't need that many people to fill up an entire server. So honestly, servers should still be alive. And the fact of the matter is also, I honestly think that servers might even be more alive. Because I myself, as a PvPer, I don't want to have to deal with all these people that don't know what they're doing, don't have treasure, don't put up a fight, just basically walk around like a bunch of NPCs because they're so new to the game and don't even know what's going on.
What? Yes? Yeah. Yes. Let's climb the ladder. Ow! Ow!
Many of those people are now going to be moving over to the safer seas because they don't even want to do PvP and they're just trying to learn the game. So now, all of the people that are like that just add no fun PvP interactions, are going to be on the safer seas now, instead of on the high seas. So this means that you'll have more like-minded people, and a higher chance of like-minded people being on the higher seas. People that actually want to PvP, people that know what they're doing, people that have loot, so on and so forth, rather than people that don't know at all what they are doing and have just started the game up, like, within the first day, like, you know? So for these reasons, I think that safer seas will actually make the high seas more alive, rather than less alive. Because even for people like me, like, sometimes I myself need to go film footage for a video, and just as like some quick little shots of something, let's say. I'm adding nothing of value to that server by being there shooting content, because I'm essentially just AFK to everyone else, just sitting there, recording, whatnot. That's now a slot in that server that has to be filled by someone that's doing nothing, so it makes it less fun for the other players. So now people like me also, we can go to the safer seas just to film content so we don't have to take up slots of servers. And meanwhile, people that actually want to be playing the game can go to the high seas, take up the slots on the servers, and have more potential interaction with people that are on these servers. Especially with the Skull of Siren Song voyage coming the month right before the Safer Seas comes out. Once Safer Seas comes out, this now means that there's going to be more people that would be willing to do the Skull of Siren Song voyage, keeping this new voyage more alive. Because people that don't want to do it and just want to do PvE, they'll be doing their own thing on other servers. Meanwhile, all the people that want to play this new content, the Skull of Siren Song, they're going to be on these servers looking to play. Now, another big concern people have is commendation progress and whatnot, and that it's just going to be so easy to do that now. Well, first off, Rare has already talked about how certain stuff like that will be limited. I don't know exactly how it's going to work, but they'll find a way to make it not like super easy. Like, even, for instance, already, you have so many limitations on the safer seas. Like, you can't do Fort of the Damned, you can't do Fort of Fortune, you can't play as Reaper's Emissary, you can't play as Athena Emissary, you can't do Hourglass PvP, you can only get to level 40 in each faction, and only being able to get to level 40 in each faction, while I do think that the max level in safer seas should be a little bit lower than 40, it's still, like, not that much progress, you know? Because the higher levels you get in Sea of Thieves, the harder it actually gets to keep leveling up. So I don't know the exact numbers on it, but honestly, getting to level 40 versus getting to level 75, I'd guess that's probably only like, you know, like 30%. Like, you can only do 30% of the grind in safer seas at that point. Plus, on top of this, you're not allowed to raise emissary flags. So the grind itself is going to be much harder. Essentially, we can think of safer seas as being a light version of the game with all of the limitations that it has. And as I was already saying earlier, it's a means for less slots in servers to be filled up by people that aren't doing much. Whether it's doing tall tales, whether it's just wanting to do fishing, whether it's not wanting to do any PvP at all, just PvE stuff, whether it's filming video content, whatever. Just people that aren't doing much, they're more so going to be in safer seas rather than the active servers. So I think that's pretty good. Now, the next big concern that plenty of people have is Rare is now dedicating resources to safer seas instead of actually fixing the game and whatnot. You know, fixing hit reg, fixing the cheating issue, fixing all of the bugs, all of that. And yes, I do agree that is a huge problem with the game. It is part of the reason why I have not even played the game much recently, to be honest with you. But we can also think of this. They have said they are actively working on those issues. So that's a good thing. We know it's being worked on. But now, Safer Seas will also be bringing more players to the game. You know, the players that don't want to be doing all the PvP stuff, that just want to do PvE, just want to do their own thing, that want to, I don't know, introduce their kids to the game, whatever kind of thing it may be. I don't know. And these are now potential paying customers. Remember, Rare is a business. They need to make money to operate. It's quite simple. If Rare doesn't have money, Sea of Thieves dies anyways. So something like this brings new players to the game, brings back the people that quit the game from, you know, just instantly getting completely dumpstered by people that are PvP gods right when they spawn into a server and just being like, well, this game sucks. Those people might be coming back because there's now Safer Seas. And those people are potential paying customers that are going to buy stuff from the Pirate Emporium. Maybe people will buy the game outright. Overall, this means Rare is going to make a ton more money by catering to a new audience. So that means this money can be dedicated to fixing those issues, such as all the bugs, such as the cheating issue, all of that. All of that stuff can have more resources because of Rare having more money. Makes sense? At the end of the day, even though I myself would love it if Rare just dedicated all of their resources into fixing the game, fixing the cheater issue, all of that, and not even giving us a new update, and that essentially was the new update, I myself would love that. But from a business standpoint, most consumers aren't going to like that because that's no new content, and most people don't even realize the amount of bugs and just crazy weirdness going on in the game, you know? So from a business standpoint, if they went that way, they would kill the game anyways, because people would not be seeing new content, and therefore a ton of people would leave. People wouldn't buy anything in the game. They wouldn't care because the game is going to stay dry. So at least with having a balance of actively working on the issue, as well as adding new content to the game to generate them more income, I feel like that's probably one of the best routes to go. Originally, before Safer Seas was even announced, I myself thought PvE servers are a bad idea. That's going to kill the game. It's going to be stupid. But now looking at it from how Rare has decided to actually implement this, I think that it is a pretty good idea, to be honest. Just because, like I said, I myself, even though I'm like practically not even going to touch the Safer Seas unless it's for recording content, at the end of the day, just the update coming out brings more content to me. Because now, like I was saying before, I don't have to deal with all these people that aren't doing anything, and servers are going to be more lively, so there's actually going to be more for me to do. More player interactions. Really, the only main concern that I'd have with this is that people that start up the game that initially start out in Safer Seas will never have the idea of player interaction and will get it just engraved into their minds that like player threat isn't a worry. And then once they join the higher seas later on, they won't know what to do. They won't know how to interact with that at all. But honestly, at the end of the day, you can apply that to anything. You know, new players aren't going to be as good as the older players. It's quite simple, so I don't really think it's much of a concern at that point, but it is something to keep in mind. So overall, rather than the community being super divided on this and being all like, oh, PvE servers suck, oh, PvE servers are amazing, we hate PvP, whatever. It's just like, come together, guys. Look at this from a more objective standpoint. It's going to benefit both sides greatly in its own ways. It'll make PvP people happy, even though it's not like new content for them. It'll make them happy in more indirect ways. Like I said, it'll just bring more action to the servers that they're in. And then the PvE people, it makes them happy because it's their own private servers and they can just do their own thing. They don't have to worry about people. At the end of the day, like I said, those aren't the people that the PvP people want to really go after anyways. I don't care about just getting a super easy sync on someone that's standing still, doing absolutely nothing, that's been sitting at an outpost for 20 minutes buying the Kraken Lord cosmetics. Like, I don't know. Overall, I think that it should be pretty beneficial, alright? So now, let me know all your guys' thoughts on this in the comments down below, and also make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more future content. Alright guys, have a good one.